Hi, friends. Today we are wrapping up our narrative writing. We are taking the last step in the writing process. You have finished your rough draft. You hopefully have finished your revisions, making sure that you have enough detail, your story makes sense, and it's the strongest version of it. Of the story that it can be. So, the last step before we write our final draft or produce our final draft is editing. So editing is a little bit different from revising because editing is just looking for the errors. I think of that word edit starts with an E, errors starts with an E. So editing is looking for those errors and fixing them. Errors might be spelling. They could be capitalization. I could be missing punctuation or have too much punctuation. I might have used the wrong version of a word or of a homophone. So going through the writing, looking for the things that are wrong to fix them and make the writing perfect. So you're going to watch me as I start to edit my same writing that I've been working on. So I went through and made all of my revisions yesterday. So now instead of thinking about the story, I'm just going to focus on the words and what I see and what I meant. So I'm going to start at the beginning, like always. It says, the sun was beaming on my yellow bike as I heard my brother and his friends yell at me to catch up. Okay, didn't look like anything was misspelled in that sentence. I have a capital letter at the beginning of the sentence. My I know when the I stands alone, it's capitalized. And then I have a period at the end. So I know that sentence is good. So I'm going to move on to the next one. We were riding bikes together through the neighborhood. Okay, neighborhood looks a little, whoopsies, looks a little silly, but when I take a closer look, I see, okay, it is E-I-G-H. I remember that. So that is spelled right, even though it looks kind of silly. So I just take a closer look. I've got punctuation and I've got a capital letter at the beginning, so I think I'm good there too. Okay. The boys had been teasing me all day that I wasn't as good of a bike rider as them because I was the only girl. I was going to prove them wrong today. Well, that seemed like a really long sentence. Let me reread that and see. Maybe I was missing a period somewhere. Let's see. The boys had been teasing me all day that I wasn't as good of a bike rider as them because I was the only girl. That's where I'm missing something. I'm missing a period right there. I knew that sounded too long because I remember I wanted the sentence, I was going to prove them wrong today. That's its own sentence. So I just didn't have a period at the end of that sentence. So I'm going to put my cursor there and I'm going to add that period. So by finding that error and fixing that error, I've made a really important edit on my writing. Okay, so now I'll continue. Okay, I was going to prove them wrong today, period. Okay, all four of us rode our bikes up to the top of the biggest hill in the neighborhood. Well, right off the bat, I see these blue squiggly lines, and a lot of the times a blue squiggly line or a red squiggly line on the computer tells me that there's some sort of error, so I'm going to take a closer look at that. The first thing I notice is that the first letter in my sentence, in that word all, it's not capitalized, and I know that the beginning of every sentence needs a capital letter, so I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go backspace it and replace it with the capital A. So, all right. All four of us rode our bikes up to the top of the biggest hill in the neighborhood. I still see a squiggly line. And when I look at that word for, it sounds right, but it doesn't look right. When I was saying all four of us rode our bikes, I was saying the number four. There were four people. And I know that that version of the word for is not spelled F-O-R. It's spelled F-O-U-R. So I'm going to fix that. So all F-O-U-R, four of us rode our bikes to the top of the biggest hill in the neighborhood. And then again, I have a period. Awesome. Okay, next sentence. At the top, we all turned our bikes around and looked at the hill ahead. I see another blue squiggly. I'm going to check that out. At the top. That's not how you spell V. I have an extra E there. That was silly. I need to fix that. There we go. At the top of the hill. Oh, at the top, we all turned our bikes around and looked at the hill ahead. Period. I'm going to stop there. But I want you to notice how I went sentence by sentence and paid really close attention to the punctuation, the capitalization, and the spelling to make sure that I didn't have any grammatical errors. So nothing was wrong with how I wrote the paper out. So what you're going to do today is you're going to open up your same writing. You're going to look through your paper, your writing, the same way that I just did, looking sentence by sentence and fixing those little errors and changing the capitalization and punctuation to make sure your writing is its perfect version so that we can publish. Good luck.